Hey guys, it's Samuel here, and today I'm going to be doing a Kerbal Space Program mod review for the Mechjeb mod. Basically what the Mechjeb mod does is it adds, under control, it adds a few different things. It adds some pods and some different things, but when you put these on your rocket ship, it adds this new interface. So I've just got a basic rocket up here going right now. Nothing really special, but as you can see, I do have my Mechjeb thing. It's this little box right there, which is right here. Alright, so we're just going to click the launch, and then we're going to go out onto the launch pad. Alright, so now as you can see, what's going to come up is this little side panel thing. When you open this up, you're going to get all these different options. Basically, these are all kind of autopilot and to help you fly around kind of things. So let's say I wanted to get into orbit, like a perfect orbit, like 90 kilometers above Kerbal. I'm going to click Ascent Autopilot. It's going to pull up this little window. And okay, let's see, I want to go up to 90 kilometers. Alright, so now that that's set, always turn on all the auto things, because that just makes it easier on you. You can actually just go AFK and it'll take you into orbit. Alright, so let's do that. We're going to click engage. It says awaiting liftoff. So we're just going to throttle up and launch. So there we go, we launched. We're going up. And basically I'm not touching anything right now. It is doing everything by itself. I have just clicked one button and that's it. So that's pretty awesome. And you can also pull up, it's like WoW add-ons. You can actually like drag a bunch of things, see orbital information, service information, vessel information, landing autopilot. Usually I just have most of these pulled up when I launch a ship, so that's pretty cool. And this smart one is like when it's not on auto, it gives you a panic button that'll get you pointing straight up, which is extremely helpful. Like, I'm just saying, like, it helps me so much. Alright. So it's going to keep taking us into orbit. I think I'm actually going to turn on infinite fuel for this, because I just put this rocket together real fast. It's not really going to get into orbit. So there we go. Infinite fuel is on. I'm going to go ahead and turn RCS on, because it doesn't do that automatically, which kind of stinks. But, alright. See, you see it's doing its gravity turn right now. I can go into the map. It's expanding the orbit and raising the apoapsis. So this is how I got this satellite. Look how perfect that satellite is, that orbit. So I can actually switch to, wait, can I switch to, I don't think I can switch to it while I'm thrusted up. I'll get into orbit first and then I'll show you. But, like I said, this mod is definitely worth the download. And when you go on Spaceport, it'll say it's like outdated, or at least I did when I got it. But don't worry about that. It works for me, and it'll probably work for you. Alright, so as you can see, beautiful sunrise over the horizon as we head off into space. Still doing our gravity turn. And as you can see, it's aligned perfectly down here on the compass ball. Straight there. And it works perfectly. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Alright, basically I can warp to these things. I can warp to a node, an SOL, an apoapsis, or a periapsis, which basically means it'll time warp until you get to that specific place on your orbit. And then transfer injection means it points you to a, what's the word? It gets you an encounter with that whatever you select. So if I got into orbit with this rocket, and then I decided, hey, I want to go to the moon, or I want to go to Minmus, all I'd have to do is click this button, one of these buttons, and it would automatically burn and change my orbit right to the moon, which is somewhere right to there. See, I have loads of things on the moon. I kind of have a moon base going. I'll show you that later. And then there's a circular eyes button, which is extremely helpful if you're going to be landing on the moon or something like that. Because when you use this transfer thing to the moon, it'll take you to when you get to the moon, it'll take you about 90 kilometers at your apoapsis. but then you want to circularize it and then land. So this circularize, whatever height you're at, it'll circularize around the body that you're orbiting. Basically this apoapsis and periapsis button changes your circular orbit to whatever you want. So that's pretty cool. It always says periapsis cannot be above current altitude, which it is, but that's not really a problem. So right now, as you can see, it's growing around the planet like it's supposed to be. And basically these periapsis and apoapsis buttons are basically this, but just separate. And then the landing autopilot. This is so helpful, because for me the hardest part about this game is landing, because I always like panic, and then like I just don't know what to do. So that automatically does that for you. And as you can see, we're now in orbit, like pretty much exactly 90 kilometers above Kerbin. So now, well, let's go to the moon, shall we? Alright, so we're gonna go to our transfer, and now that we're in orbit around Kerbin, we're gonna click transfer to moon. And then it's gonna time warp into the right burn point for the injection. So let's just let it do that. I always thought this game was super cool, considering the fact that it actually works. Like, the planets have a real gravity. You can go anywhere you want on them. I thought that was really cool. Because most games like this, like Star Mid for example, I know that's just an alpha, and it's a block game, but it's like, the planets are like flat. Like, they don't have a gravity or anything. Well, they have a gravity, but like, they're flat. They don't have like a center of mass or anything that you can like walk all the way around the planet on, which I didn't really like that much. Alright, so as you can see, we got a little eclipse going on as we burn towards the moon. That's pretty cool, I guess. Alright, now it's starting to burn, and it's extending our orbit. So the moon is right there, so this is going to extend our orbit into a perfect, what's the word, contact with the moon, an encounter with the moon, my bad. And that's why it spins around the Earth like one time. Sorry, it spins around Kerbin about one time before it actually can burns towards the moon, because it wants to get you the perfect orbit for an encounter. So as you can see, it automatically got me an encounter, and I'm going straight towards the moon. So right now I can just time warp until I get close enough, until I get an encounter. I usually just go about 1,000, because you go 10,000, it just like throws you off into space, because you like run right by it. So we're just gonna wait for it to get an encounter, and then we're gonna stop time warping at the apoapsis, or apoapsis or periapsis. I'm not sure. I think it's apoapsis. But then we're just going to wait. Alright, so there's our encounter right there. Periapsis, my bad. So now we're going to wait, and we are going to stop time close to the periapsis. Then we're going to click this circularize button that I was telling you about. See, there's moon. Alright, see now it says circularizing at 96 kilometers. Alright, so now it's going to automatically... Here, I'm actually just going to decouple that. Alright, so now it's circularizing our orbit, as you can see. This goes really fast. I was surprised at how fast this went. Alright, so that's nice and cool. It's circularizing our orbit. And there we go. Alright, so we have a perfect circular orbit around the moon. So now, I'm just going to go ahead and decouple that. Alright, now I got this rocket up. Alright, now I'm going to click. Now we're going to go on to this landing autopilot. So basically, the thing about the landing autopilot is you could put in your own coordinates. You can just click the land button. That'll take you just like to the closest and easiest path. Or the other way, the way that I use it, which I'm going to show you, is to select target on map and land at target. So basically what this says, click it. It'll pull up the map for you. Basically just click anywhere on this planet, or whatever body you're orbiting. So I'm gonna, let's just like land like right there. So now automatically put in those coordinates, and then you just click land at target, which means it'll land at that coordinate. So it's gonna it's gonna burn, shrinking our orbit and turning our orbit until we can get that closest as it possibly can to our destination. So Mr. Bob Kerman here, he's been in the moon a few times with this awesome mod. I definitely recommend you go download it. Maybe I'll do a download tutorial after this or something like that. But we'll just go ahead and land on the moon. Let's see. Alright, so It might take a little while because it works hard for you. It wants to get you the perfect destination that you selected. So it's gonna do that. There's our little lunar lander. Pretty cool. So it's almost done, I'm guessing. The reason you want to wait for it instead of just like canceling it, because you know you can hit the moon surfaces, you can actually just, if you wait for it, you can warp, and it'll slow you down for you, so it'll show you, it'll basically do everything for you. Like, you basically don't have to click a button, except it goes a lot faster if you time warp. So it is currently doing course corrections. Okay, it's done doing course corrections, and as down here you can see it says on course for target, safe to warp. So I'm gonna go ahead and time warp. I can go as fast as I want, and it'll automatically slow me down. And now it's gonna burn, just like that, to slow our vertical descent. We're actually going really fast. I hope it'll do it. It'll do it. Alright. One small step for Kerbal. One giant leap for Cool Guy. Bob Carmen here is looking actually pretty scared. He looks like he's worried that there's aliens. He's like, what if there's aliens out there? I forgot my laser gun. Anyway, here we go. It's automatically burning right away from Kerbin. Look at that. View to Miss Kerbin. Alright. So as it does this, I think I'll explain how easy these mods are to actually install. But I bought this off Steam, so it's a bit harder to find what you're looking for. But don't be too discouraged, because it's not that hard to find. Like, I could show you. You basically just go into Program Files, under Steam, and then like Steam Apps, then Games, then Kerbal Space Program, or something like that. It's actually really easy, so I don't think you should be too discouraged with downloading mods, because you don't need any external programs. You just need the mod in your game. So that's pretty cool. Looks like we're getting closer to the surface as it continues to break our speed. So that's pretty cool. Alright. Starting to increase the throttle a little bit. As you can see, our surface speed is going down. There's our little lunar rover. Not rover, what am I talking about? Lander. So that's pretty sweet. I have a decoupler that I actually forgot to add a parachute. I was actually gonna use this decoupler. I don't know which one's the decoupler. Whatever. I think it's this one. That will detach this. Then I was gonna have a parachute to like land on whatever it's called. Kerbin. Get back to Kerbin. Alright, so now it's going to straighten out our orbit. It's basically going to stop us so it can straighten out the orbit and lower the landing gear for you. So now it's going to stop the thrusters and basically just keep you straight on to land at Mud. So that's pretty cool. This is the easiest way I've found to get to the moon, because if you just are like bad at this game and you want to make like a lunar base like me, I'm just so bad at this game. I can barely make it to the moon without it. But this is like, well, I highly recommend this one. This is the best. Alright, so let's see, and super close. Look, you can even set your touchdown speed, but touchdown speed 0.5 millimeters per second, or meters per second. Like if you would have seen that. Alright, so we're at moon. So now we can get out. Yay, Mr. Kerbal. Oh, wee! We're on moon. Woohoo! Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this mod review and tutorial, drop that like button. It really helps me, a small channel like me. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.